Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Stricker. How are you?
I'm doing well. Opa, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. So, for the people who may be watching this video, would you like to tell them how much experience you have with One Piece?
Sure. Okay. So I'm a really a casual fan of One Piece. I'm going to admit that right up. I'm not fully caught up with everything. My first experience with One Piece was I read the first volume of it back in, oh my God, I don't know, it was like 10 or 11. And my mom saw one of the pages and said, you know what, that's too violent for you. You can't read this anymore. You got to pick a different manga. So that was my first experience with One Piece. And then my next experience with One Piece was that whole 4 Kids debacle, the brief extent, and then Funimation, Toonami, whatever it is, the Adult Swim. Uh, and since then, I've been kind of off and on. I've recently just caught up with the last arc. Yamato is fighting, what's his name? Oh, I feel so bad, Kaido. And they're both in their hybrid, forms. So
Okay.
I'm
So,
such a
have
super
you
casual.
read the majority of One Piece at this point since you caught up with Wano, or did you just like read Wano in specific?
I didn't even read all of Wano. I just jumped in whenever people said something interesting was going on. So I have not read the majority of One Piece. I am blind to most of the stuff. I did absorb some things just through online discourse, but fairly blind to it. So
Okay. That is good to know. So then that means that a lot of the stuff we're gonna be going through in this little series is gonna be new to you in terms of experiencing it like for yourself.
yes.
Fantastic. Okay, in that case, I guess we could just jump right into it. Uh, today, I mean, this week we've read the first 41 chapters of One Piece. Did you use the Viz translation or did you get like a fan translation?
Can I say the website I used because it was most certainly not an official one?
That's more than fine. I will say it is a bit sad. I would have loved for you to see how cringy the Viz translation is at the beginning. It is very, very hard to bear. It's so, oh God, because like they want to use pirate lingo so bad, but that's never actually really used in actual One Piece.
Okay, then. All right. Okay, so
Okay, so first chapter. What are your thoughts?
let's see. So that first chapter was actually like a really long one. That was the entirety of the Shanks losing his arm and the weird mountain bandits thing, right? Was that all the first chapter? Or
Yes.
was
Yeah,
okay?
that's all one chapter. It is the longest chapter in One Piece.
All right. So my first thoughts were okay. So I know how strong Shanks is now. I know he's a Yonko, and so like the idea of him like getting his arm chopped off by the sea monster. I know. Later on, also he said it was like an investment in Luffy's future, but like I don't know. It's weird rereading this and being like, oh yeah, Shanks is like a really huge deal, and I mean, I think it was kind of cool of him not slaughtering the mountain bandit when the guy just spilled all the drinks over him. So I guess that's
Mm-hmm.
just my first thoughts.
Okay. Well, I will say that's something that kind of gets everyone ever since we found out Shanks was a Yonko. He does become a Yonko, like it's 4 years after that in which he becomes a Yonko.
Okay, so
Wait,
he
no.
wasn't a Yonko at that point,
I
or
actually yeah, no, he wasn't a Yonko at that point. Actually, I might be wrong. I think it's 6 years from the current timeline in which he became a Yonko, which means it's actually 6 years after that incident in which he became a Yonko.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So there's some time there, but then there's the whole like, do you know about like him and Mihawk being rivals and having legendary battles?
I did not know about that one.
Yeah, yeah, it's like apparently a big thing. They were like world renowned battles and everything. And that all happened before Shanks lost his arm. So even with the whole he became a Yonko later, it's still really hard to just kind of conceptualize how strong he was and how strong he must have been at that time still, and then losing his arm to a mere sea king that's not even that big.
The Sea King that later on Luffy just punched with a single Gumu Gumu pistol when he left the island, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh,
it's a bit sad. I think, honestly, I think that's probably quite possibly the worst form of like power like
Scaling, power scaling.
inconsistency in One Piece. Yeah, like power scaling inconsistencies. But like I can forgive that because it's like the first chapter of this 1,000+ chapter epic.
Yeah,
You
you know,
know?
I'd probably. I don't know if Oda had like. I know he planned like a lot of stuff out, but I don't know if he planned like for Shanks to be like the one of like one of the tops of the Pirate World. If he just planned on him being like a sort of mentor that Luffy was supposed to catch up to early on. So um,
Uh,
yeah.
I think he probably planned for Shanks, like, cause Usopp did point out that Shanks is a really well-known pirate.
Oh yeah, and what's his name? Yasu. His father's name is like
Yasop.
Yasop. Yeah, his father's on that crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they covered it
So
in
I
the
mean,
yeah.
he might have. I don't know if he planned to have, like, One Piece was only meant to be a 5-year story, so I don't know if he planned to have Shanks have like this legendary rivalry with Mihawk at first, or if it's Shanks and the Yonko to be so strong either, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think he had it fully planned out.
Perhaps not.
But what do you think about Shanks?
I thought, like I said, I thought he was really cool. I don't know. He was like the mentor that's, like, he's cool. He's not like an old man. I don't know. It feels like, like, oh, of course not. But, there's a lot of old man mentors out there. So, it
Mm-hmm.
felt like a little bit different. Him constantly goofing on Luffy, that was also kind of funny too. He's like, oh, here, have some milk. And then Luffy drank it. He's like, ha ha ha, pirates would never drink milk. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, sometimes I come back and read and I'm surprised I still laugh at stuff like that.
yeah. So I know that he has like a whole bunch of legendary people on his crew, but I didn't see any in like the original, like this first chapter. But I'm just gonna chalk that up to it wasn't planned yet or it
Oh
hadn't
no,
made.
all of the people you saw in this chapter are those legendary people.
They are. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, like
All
when
right.
it's talked about like the people who are like when Shanks' like top crewmen are talked about, it's Ben Beckman, who was his first mate in this chapter, Yasop, who does show up, that's Usopp's dad, and like Lucky Woo, who was like that really fat round guy.
With the gun. Okay, actually, hang on. I do want
Yeah.
to talk about him. So do you remember at the confrontation after Luffy he got beat up by the mountain bandits, right? And then like the mountain. I don't even know what the guy's name. He pointed a gun at Shanks, and then Shanks like, oh, that thing's dangerous. I think he had one of his men point the gun. And then
Yeah.
what did you guys call him? Lucky. Lucky walks up to him, points the gun at the guy's head, and just shoots him. And
Yeah.
when I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. This really was violent. Huh. I was like, wow, they just shot someone in the head. Like a lot of times, it's like, oh, you beat someone up until they pass out, or you blast them with a key blast and they disintegrate. And I'm talking about anime and manga in general, but here you just headshot him like a point blank. So I was like, oh, it's kind of metal. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, like early One Piece definitely started off with a bang.
No kidding. A literal bang, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and like I actually really always loved that part because it's like it is like that whole kind of like it kind of brings in that gray morality that exists in One Piece because like Shanks is obviously seen as a good guy. He's never painted as a villain or an antagonist, but like he did just like his crew did just kill someone in cold blood.
Actually, I do want to contest that. I don't think that was cold blood because I mean the guy did hold a gun to the captain, so I mean like at that
Yeah,
point.
that is fair, but
But yeah, no, it's still
you know,
hardcore. It's still definitely
yeah,
hardcore.
it is definitely pretty hardcore. And then wait, how far are you caught up? Like, are you caught up with like Wano right now?
Yeah, the last thing I remember is Yamato is Kaido's daughter, right?
Uh-huh. Well,
And
son.
they I'm sorry. Yeah. And then he turned into I don't even know what his devil fruit is. It's like a thing, like a firefox, right? Like or do we not even know what it
Oh,
is?
it hasn't been revealed yet. I think it's the Kirin, which is like a
Oh,
dragon-like
Kirin.
Chinese mystical creature. That also is symbolic of like the arrival or departing of like a great emperor or something.
All right, actually that's very fitting considering that, the pirate emperor. What are they called? The four emperors, that's what they are, and that's what
Yeah,
Kaido is.
the four emperors.
Yeah. So I'm caught up. They're having their face off. This was after, Luffy found out he could imbue Conqueror's Haki into his attacks, and then like
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what he still got beat. Did he like overload himself, or did Kaido just beat him up?
Well, it seems like Kaido probably just beat him up.
Okay.
Probably one of the things that probably happened is like Luffy gets pretty confident in a fight. He probably got a bit lax and got smacked.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
But regardless, I just wanted to point out because like you saw the Jinbei versus Who's Who fight, right?
Yeah, I know Jinbei was. I actually don't know who those guys were. I'll admit that.
Who's
Yeah.
Who was the saber-toothed tiger, and Jinbei was like the guy who looked
But
like a fish,
I
kind of.
yeah. No, I know Jinbei. He had what was he? He's like part of the Sun Pirates or something. Big Fish Man.
Well, he's
Yeah.
now a Straw Hat, but yes.
Now Straw Hat. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sort of. We'll call it sort of caught up. So yeah.
But whatchamacallit, did you see the part in which Who's Who reveals that Shanks stole the gum gum fruit from him all those years ago?
I think I do. So I guess they stole it from Kaido's crew. Nice.
Oh no. Well, Who's Who wasn't a part of Kaido's crew at the time. At that time, he was a CP9 world government agent.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why he got like Who's Who was then put in prison, then he broke out, then he joined Kaido's crew.
Okay. Also,
Yeah.
do we need to keep it PG here? No swearing or anything? Don't want to demonetize or anything.
I would want to stay away from the swearing just in case my channel ever does get monetized, so I can make money off of this.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll try and keep it PG. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's all cool. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because they did talk about how like Lucky Luke stole that from an enemy ship, and it's like being tied back to right now, 1,019 chapters later or so.
1,000 chapters and what is it? 10 years now. So.
It's been actually just a few days ago was the 24th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, One Piece is older than you are.
It very well is. It very well is. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, it also just surpassed Batman in comic sales, so it only has Superman left.
Superman has. Wow. Okay. I actually would have thought Batman would have been more popular than Superman, but that's a story for another time.
I think Batman's just a little bit under 500 million, and then Superman's around 600 million. Because like Superman predates Batman by a good amount of time.
Okay.
But both of them predate One Piece, and One Piece is on that grind.
It's been on that steady pace, slowly catching up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on though. So the next chapter we deal with like Luffy and he meets Kobe and
yes.
Alvida. Yeah.
But
What were your
Kobe,
thoughts here?
when Kobe was groveling. Okay, so after they got hit with the barrel with Luffy in it, and then he and Kobe were talking, and then like what did you call her? Alvida showed up, and then all her crew have to constantly refer to her as the most beautiful woman in all the seas or whatever. Kobe. He said she's the ugliest old hag in the entire sea. Like that was ballsy of him. And he's like, I'm not gonna. He's crying. He's like, I'm not gonna do it. And then I don't remember too much about her. I think Luffy just beat her ass, and then they just took a little dinghy and they left, right? Like.
Yeah. I will say, do you remember the beginning of the chapter when Luffy was basically just
the
like
whirlpool? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, the weather's so nice. Who'd have thought this voyage would end in disaster so soon? He's got this joyous face, but he's like, hard to believe I'm getting sucked into this giant whirlpool because I was a little careless.
And then
he's like, too bad I can't
can
swim. Wait, what was I thinking? It's a giant whirlpool. It doesn't really make a difference whether you can swim or not.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
No,
I was like,
that chapter honestly always gets me.
Yeah, and then I was wondering, like, how's he gonna get out of this? And then like the wine barrel. I didn't even put two and two together when like they brought the wine barrel aboard. And it's like, it's Luffy. So that was smart of him. That was smart of him to do. I'm in there.
Yeah,
so.
Actually, that's how the story began originally. Like, in the anime, I mean, in the anime, it begins with like the Alvida pirates kind of like taking over a ship, and then like they bring a barrel, and Luffy pops out, and then and then he says, "Oh yeah, I got stuck in a whirlpool," and it flashes back to that. And then like a few episodes after Zoro was already part of the crew, that's when we get the red-haired Shanks flashback. It was very much completely different, but
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can see why they would do that differently for the anime. They want to jump right into the action. This is what you came for. Luffy going on the Pirate King journey. But I do think that having the sort of backstory as the first thing is probably a little important.
Yeah,
But I
I
can see
think
why
I
they
would
did it.
probably agree. What do you think of the boy Kobe?
So okay, when I first read it, because I think this was all in the first volume, like the whole Zoro arc, I think was in the first volume, and like it ended right before the whole Nami thing. So I actually
Yeah.
thought he was gonna be like the rival. I thought he was gonna okay, he joined the Marines. Helmeppo, I think is called Helmeppo and Captain Morgan. Those two guys are like, okay, yeah, they're gone. Kobe's gonna do. He's gonna be like, king of the sailors. I guess that'd be admiral or supreme admiral or what is the top one?
Fleet Admiral, yeah.
Yeah, fleet admiral. I thought, oh man, Kobe's gonna do that, and he's gonna become strong that way, and then like, uh, you know, I think he's like, what is his rank right now? I know he's still around, and I know he got like taller or whatever, but like,
I think he might have been recently promoted to Rear Admiral.
to what admiral?
Uh, it's REAR Admiral, Rear Admiral. Little speech impediments, huh?
Let's see. So rear admiral is like what two? So there's so there's admiral, vice admiral, and then what is the one underneath
I
vice
think the
admiral?
Rear Admiral is right below Vice Admiral.
Oh, all right, good boy Kobe.
Yeah.
He's been climbing the ranks. So
A lot of people do actually think he's Luffy gonna be Luffy's rival. Personally, I don't think so. But we can get to that when we get further into the series.
fair enough. Well, I guess we'll have to see if we have some Garp, Goldie, Roger sort of parallels going on there. With those two. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's right. That's in the future. So actually, so they go to the village, right? And then, they're looking for the pirate hunter Zoro. So this is actually something interesting I noticed was that like, with Zoro and Nami specifically. So Zoro was a pirate hunter, so he hunted pirates, and then Nami was someone that stole from pirates. So I thought like
Mhm.
Luffy's crew was going to be like an anti-pirate crew, back in the day. I
Yeah.
guess he's just like a good-hearted pirate, So I mean,
Mhm.
it's better than just a cutthroat. So that's just something interesting I wanted to point out is that like Zoro and Nami both like targeted pirates before they joined his crew. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly, I'd have to say that's honestly probably pretty important that they don't like regular pirates. And I think it probably is just more of a testament to Luffy not being a regular pirate.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember his first couple of times of recruiting Zoro. Zoro's like, I'm not going to lower myself to being a pirate. I'm not going to lower myself to being a pirate.
Mhm.
And then Kobe, goes up and tells him, yeah, the reason Luffy's even fighting for you right now is because you're going to be, the Helmeppo wasn't going to keep his end of the bargain. He was going to have you executed. And
Yeah.
then, oh yeah, I forgot also, yeah. When we first saw Zoro chained to like, or tied to like the cross or whatever, he had like the black bandana on. When I first saw that, I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be like so cool. I hate to say it. I even thought like, why isn't this guy the main character? Man, he looks scary.
I mean, hey, in the recent popularity poll, for a while we didn't know if he would beat Luffy or not.
So he's been neck and neck with Luffy, yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
all
I mean, even in the story, people ask, why isn't he the captain?
right.
Uh,
Oh
I
yeah,
think
the
it's just part
swordsman.
of the charm.
Yeah. He wants to be the greatest swordsman. Leadership isn't really what he's after. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then so Luffy goes around, he drags Helmeppo, and the guards are gonna try and shoot him, and then he's like, oh, I have Helmeppo as a shield. Go ahead, try and shoot. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I know we're going out of order, but I also remember when Morgan, that's the big evil Axeman.
Yeah.
When Helmeppo was like, oh, I'm your that's me, and then he punched him. Right, he's like, no, you idiot. The reason I haven't punched you is because you haven't defied me. You're not worth it. You're not worth my fist. I was like, oh. That's not how I thought that was going to go down. Even my second time reading it, I remember the first time he punched him, and I just thought, oh, I don't know, he like said something out of turn or he insulted his father, and I thought it was like some sort of weird Dragon Ball Z abridged Frieza King Cold dynamic, but like no, he just said like,
Mhm.
yeah, you're not worth it. That's the only reason I haven't beat the shit out of you yet. I mean, punched you. Sorry, you might have to edit that out. Anyhow, so yeah, and then like the last big thing. So this is what actually got me out of the series when I first read it when I was like a kid, and it wasn't even my choice. So there's a panel where Luffy is fighting Morgan, right? And I think Zoro is still tied up at that point. It's basically Helmeppo goes up and holds a gun to Kobe's head, and I
Oh,
think that's
Zoro's not tied up at that point, but
okay. So he's free. Yeah, but that panel, it's like a joke panel. It's like a small panel. I guess maybe like the bottom of the page. I don't have it in front of me right now. and yeah, he's got the gun at his head. And he's like, let him shoot me, Luffy. Just keep fighting. And I think that was when my mom walked in and basically was like, nah, we're not doing this. Stabbing people with swords, that's fine. Beating each other up with punches, that's also fine. Pirates is fine, but I guess holding a gun to a kid's head is not okay. Which, now that I say it out loud, maybe I could sort of understand where the moral guardians are
I
coming from
mean,
here.
you also had the whole stabbing people with swords and stuff, like. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure exactly how much of a difference it makes in terms of actual violence.
probably not much, but yeah, because I the mangas that I had previously, they were all like Yu-Gi-Oh card games, and well, to be fair, the manga had a bit of blood in it, but like or like fighting manga where they're using their fists and stuff, which I guess is less violent than
Yeah.
than guns and swords. But like the original Dragon Ball manga had like blood, and I remember the Cell Juniors actually got like blown up and stuff. So not like in the anime where they blew up like machines, but like they had like organs and stuff.
That makes more sense. I haven't read the Dragon Ball manga, so it makes more sense to me that they'd actually blow up with organs rather than like. I think in the anime they were like a machine smoke up thing.
Yeah,
Was
they were literally like androids, or instead of cyborgs or androids.
yeah. Whatchamacallit. Also, it's funny because that was after the scene in which like Captain Morgan had them like shoot themselves in the head.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that, and they were gonna actually go through it.
Oh no, it's inferred that they did go through with it.
No, okay, I swear that like he told them to do it. They aimed at themselves, and like Luffy like punched Morgan, and then they stopped. Like I swear that's what happened.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. Looking back
Okay.
at it, you're completely right about that.
Otherwise, yeah, One Piece is one of the darkest manga so far. Yeah, with all the wacky faces and stuff, you forget, yeah, these people are shooting and shooting each other, like I guess Luffy's immune to bullets, but not the smokes, So yeah, and then so yeah, after that, the moment where poor Kobe had a gun held to his head, I think Hamefo got punched out, and then Pirate Hunter Roronoa Zoro. I think the translation I found recently called him Zolo. Roronoa Zoro.
Yeah. The Viz was scared of the translate like having a lawsuit against him for using the name Zoro. So like even to this day, in the official translation of One Piece, he's referred to as Zolo.
Oh my god. Yeah, what is it? It's like the bandit guy in like the Wild West. I don't even know, films or something
like that.
He's also a swordsman. So whatever, yeah. So yeah, Roronoa Zolo, he breaks. He's on the loose. He's got the 3 swords. He blocks the attacks from behind. Amazing. And then I think, is he the one that beats up Morgan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then he joins the crew, and they get kicked out of town by the Marines. Yeah, I remember that. And then Luffy gets Kobe to punch him in the face, which I guess that's a cool bro moment to make sure they're separated. And, Kobe stays behind.
Yeah. Altogether, that whole like I think maybe 8 or 9 chapters is the Romance Dawn arc. What do you think of it?
It was pretty good. I guess in hindsight, I'm surprised it all fit in one volume. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, pretty good. I'd say it's like just a really good opening for what the series is going to be. So, yeah.
Oh, shoot, we did actually talk about it. Zoro did have a small flashback.
Yeah, that's right. His childhood friend fell down the stairs. So
yeah.
I know there's like a whole Zoro discussion with his relationship to sexism. Like I don't know, like it was weird. Like in this chapter, I didn't think he would be like sexist. Maybe I didn't read it like in depth enough, but like like she beat him, and then she said, "Oh, guys get stronger," and all that, and then she fell down and died. He never got the chance to beat her, but like I don't know. Zoro hasn't fought any women in so far as I've caught up to yet. So, but I do remember there was like a discussion about that. So.
Well, honestly, it's weird because like the discussion online, or at least on like Annie Twitter or whatever, is quite much. Someone might say he's sexist, and then other people are like, "What? No, he's not." And then, yeah, like I'm definitely on the side that like, yeah, he's definitely sexist, and it's a part of his character arc. But like, we can get into that as we do, and I don't think we're gonna have an incident where that comes up for like 100 or so chapters, anyways.
Okay, all right, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
But anyways, do you have any idea what the main theme of this arc might be?
So I know we personally had discussions about like the thematic, the bringing of the dawn, changing the world order, overthrowing
Yeah.
the fascist dictatorship that's got a stranglehold on the populace, and there's the whole poneglyph thing. So I guess theoretically, they're overthrowing the I guess the darkness and replacing with knowledge and I guess light and knowledge. If they find all the poneglyphs and they have all the what is it, the ancient civilization or something? It was like I remember like the whole Nico Robbins. I know we're really getting ahead of ourselves, but like
Yeah.
he was on the island of scientists and they were like looking at the elder civilization and they got blown up for it.
Yeah.
We'll get there when we get there, but yeah, so I can see sort of the parallels there.
Okay. Well, I will say this is definitely a bit before that. I was gonna say I think the main theme of the arc more so revolves around like what other people think about you and labels. Because like the
Oh,
first chapter, when we're introduced to Luffy, what he's doing is essentially he's doing a stupid stunt in order to gain the respect and admiration of people he wants to be accepted. Who he wants to accept him onto the pirate crew. And like
right.
then we see Shanks, and we see Shanks completely get like completely disrespected, but he laughs it off. And then Luffy's like, "What? How are you gonna let someone do that? That's not manly. That's not pirate like at all. You're just a bunch of cowards and stuff like that." And then we see at the end where it's like, no, Shanks isn't a coward. He just doesn't care about something that's meaningless. And like then when we move on, right? We go to Kobe and everything. And like that this is the only part that doesn't really fit into it. Kobe's thing feels more like dreams, right? It feels more like having the courage to go after your dream. That's what that whole little chapter, like chapter 2, feels like. But then when we get back into the Zoro stuff, Zoro's called demonic beast and all this stuff. Like he has a bad reputation that doesn't reflect his character whatsoever. And like Kobe, when Helmeppo first shows up, like before that, Kobe will say like, "Oh, Luffy, go save that girl. She's about to get like killed or something," because Zoro's reputation. It's like, "Oh, this guy's evil. That's why he's in jail." But then when Helmeppo's like, when Helmeppo shows up, he's like, "Oh, she'll be safe now. The Marines are here." But she's
Right.
not.
Yeah.
It turns out to be the exact opposite. Zoro's a great person, and then Helmeppo's just kind of a jerk. And like then when Luffy asks Zoro, Zoro acts as if being a pirate somehow is like scum, like equates you to being scum, like having the title pirate is below him, that somehow makes him a worse person, despite his bad reputation, which he already acknowledges doesn't actually define him. And like I feel like it really all comes like full force, like for Zoro, I feel like he switches when he realizes like the Marines, the so-called good guys, aren't actually gonna keep their promise. Luffy, this guy who is a pirate, has a dream just as big as he has ambition on the same level as Zoro's, and he actually like he feels a need to help protect Zoro, like to help Zoro and everything because Zoro essentially is putting himself on the line for this, and like the Marines aren't honoring that promise. And it's like
Yeah.
Luffy the pirate is a more respectable guy than any of these Marines. So does it actually matter if I'm a pirate? Like what actually matters? And even when you look at Captain Morgan, right? That guy's literally obsessed with his label, his rank or whatever in the word. He's obsessed with it.
I actually do want to touch upon that when we get to the Usopp thing. Well, actually, I might as well bring it up now. When there was that flashback when the Galahad guy faked his death, was that Captain Morgan who got the reputation for it?
That was Captain Morgan, yeah.
So I was gonna say, this is sort of like a man's judged by, or should be judged by his actions and not his titles and rank. And Captain Morgan's obsessed with his rank, but he didn't even get that rank rightly. He got
Mm-hmm.
punked and
Mm-hmm.
hypnotized, and he's obsessing about this rank, and he's making it out like he's better than Luffy. And Luffy's the one that actually beat up what is his name, Caldo or Kuro, the cat pirate.
Yeah.
Again, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But the point is that yeah, even Captain Morgan's sort of a paper tiger when it comes to like he
Mm-hmm.
has this
Uh,
title and
I will say, do you get like the SBS or like the like question and answers page in your section? I mean, your
um
translation.
I don't think so. Let me check real quick. I don't have.
Well,
let's see,
if
where
you
would it be?
don't, it's fine. I'll just like send you the link to my like Viz account, and you can just use that. Cause like
Okay.
there is like this whole section where Oda answers questions, and it does add like some context to the stories. Like in a later volume, he is actually going to address that, and it's like that gave Captain Morgan one promotion, and then he quickly became captain afterwards, or something like that.
Oh,
So he does
so you guess
address
he's
that.
got.
But good catch, great catch right there.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, no. Oh, but I wanted to also point out, like, I feel like there's this one panel in which Captain Morgan and Luffy introduce themselves to each other, and the way Captain Morgan introduces himself is as Captain Morgan, while Luffy just introduces himself as Luffy. And I feel like that's probably just the best illustration of what like the theme of being labels. Like Captain Morgan is literally obsessed with his rank, and so he introduces himself including his rank, but Luffy doesn't care about that. He's just
Right.
Luffy, you know. That's who he is. It doesn't matter what label anyone puts upon him. But yeah, like that's basically what the first like arc is kind of about. It's meant just to like destroy our conceptions of what a pirate and a marine is, what good and bad is in the story, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized the Marines, they shot Kobe when he was down by Zoro, right? Like they shot
Mm-hmm.
a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. Like I'm gonna tell you, my first video on my channel is like about how this arc sets up the rest of One Piece. I would highly suggest it. I go through some of the other similarities between the actual story structure of the story. I mean, of like One Piece as a whole and like this arc. And it's a short video too, so it's like maybe 9 minutes. I want to say at most.
The Shellstown video, it's only 7.5 minutes. I'd recommend watching it if you haven't already checked it out. So.
Thank you. I think I will.
But anyhow, so that's the I guess that's called the Shellstown arc. So the next one is the Nami arc, where we get introduced to our favorite clown pirate, Buggy. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
mistaken, it is another clown pirate.
Oh god,
So.
I can't wait till we get to info down.
Yeah, so we have another sort of pirates and labels thing. I think, what is it? So Luffy gets sucked up on the giant bird, or he jumps up, gets caught by the giant bird, he flies off. Zoro finds those three guys, and they try and gank him, and then Zoro just puts them in their place, and they start rowing, and then I forget
Mm-hmm.
how, but Luffy meets Nami, and at first they're gonna work together, and then he's like, "Oh,
Uh,
I'm a pirate," and then she
Buggy
just
shoots the bird with a cannon. Like someone on the Buggy pirate shot the bird with a cannon, and Luffy
did
just
he
fell.
did he use his special buggy balls, or is that later? Like,
That I believe is a bit later. Yeah, I don't think he used it on that bird. That would be kind of a
okay.
waste just to use it on a singular bird.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize that his nose is his nose naturally like that, because like they kept hammering it, like, you think it looks fake?
Yeah, that's his actual nose.
Okay. Oh my god, the amount of puns they did there, like steak and like I don't know, like that was the one thing I remember. Is like he said, do you think this looks fake? And then the guy said, no, it doesn't look fake. He's like, what, you think it's made of steak? And then he just these weird rhymes that were in the translation. I'm guessing in the original translation or the original version, they were a little more clever puns, but
I think they were actually pretty much the exact same puns.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
congratulations
fairly
to
certain they were just the same.
congratulations to the
Yeah.
translation team for getting across a good facsimile of the puns. So yeah, so Nami decides to double cross Luffy because she's like, oh, he's a pirate, he's evil. Pirates are scum. I know that she has a sort of backstory. Nami's backstory, I think I've seen clips of it before, but I don't know. So when we get there, that's gonna be like a big surprise for me. But then going back to right now, yeah. So she just ties him up when they're like, oh, let's go to Captain Buggy, and she just ties him up, and then like she throws him in front of Buggy, and then she's like, yeah, I'll join your crew, and he's like, ah ha ha, yeah, they start drinking, and then how did it work? So Buggy uses chop fruit to hold Luffy above the ocean in front of the cannon, right? And then he told Nami to shoot him.
No. He didn't even use his chop fruit yet. Luffy was just in a cage.
Oh, right. Because he was in that cage for a bit. Okay. So So he's in the cage, and they were supposed to shoot him, and then she decided not to, and then Zoro showed up, and that's the moment. Okay, because Zoro chopped up Buggy, and then everyone was like, what do you call it? Like, oh, ha ha ha, you thought you killed Buggy, and then Zoro got stabbed in like, I don't know, the kidney or something, and they got away after that. I think he picked up Luffy's cage and they ran off, and Nami went with them, and then we have the Lion Tamer guy. I have to ask. So that was his first mate in this chapter, right? That was his first mate, the Lion Tamer.
Yeah.
Or is he still the first mate?
No, that guy's alive. Actually,
he's still alive. Okay.
It was in one of the SBSs, which is what the like question and answer thing is called. Of the later chapters in the official translation of what we actually read, in which Oda addresses that Luffy doesn't really kill people, because like, to him, when he beats them, he's essentially crushing their beliefs and dreams, and in an era in which that's what people like live for, Luffy feels like that is worse than death, personally.
Right, there was that whole broken men chapter or page where the guy was like, "Yeah, I've seen them come back from the Grand Line. They're broken men. They're like zombies." I forgot who even said that. It was some old guy who was talking about how like pirates.
Yeah, I think that's Gaimon, the guy who was trapped in a box.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, that's later on. Okay.
Yeah.
So this Lion Tamer, so he's still alive, but I think his friends used him as like a meat shield. I know the acrobat dude used the lion as a meat shield. And I'm pretty sure Buggy used him and some other Joker as like a meat shield when they got blasted by the Buggy ball. So, but did he show up afterwards? I guess that's the main point. Or is he just like a wham bam thank you man kind of character?
Wait, are you asking if Moji?
Lion Tamer.
Yeah, the Lion Tamer show afterwards?
Yeah.
I mean, he does show up later on in the story.
Okay. All right. Is he still the first mate, or did he receive a demotion?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's still the first mate. I don't think you can really I don't think you could typically receive a demotion from first mate, because like for One Piece at least, first mate kind of is just like the first person to join the crew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, all right, that's fair. So yeah. Okay. So, but I guess getting back to the fight. So they send the Lion Tamer, and the lion beats up the poor dog. Staying behind and guarding the house, and then the lion breaks Luffy out of his cage. They fight. I don't remember too much other than he beat up the lion, and then the Lion Tamer also got beat up, because the acrobat actually is. I preferred his character to the Lion Tamer. When he showed up and
everyone did.
I know that the acrobat was a dirty fighter. He was kicking Zoro's wound, but I thought he was cool. He was using tricks. He was fighting smart. I mean, he was an asshole, and Zoro. He was a jerk, and Zoro beat him when he finally got after he Zoro stabbed himself, then beat the acrobat when he got serious. But
yeah.
So, and I guess before that there was the whole using comrades.
There's something I wanted to point out. I think it was during this arc where I think Buggy was trying to do something. Oh, Buggy stabbed Zoro in the back, and then Luffy said that's fighting dirty.
Yes, I remember that.
And then later on, Luffy kicks Buggy in the balls. And Buggy's like, that's fighting dirty. And the thing was, I was actually reading that because it's been pretty consistent throughout that Luffy's oh, and there is no fighting dirty in a pirate fight, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when I just read that, I was like, But I think I realized why he said that is specifically because Buggy was fighting Zoro. And that's because huh?
I said I thought he got kicked in the balls and he was trying to attack Nami. He flew at her. Oh.
Yeah, that's when Luffy did it. But I'm saying he's when Buggy stabbed Zoro in the back and he said that's playing dirty. I feel like he only said that was because he was fighting Zoro.
Okay, so Buggy said that, and then what?
Yeah. Because the thing is, Luffy doesn't really believe in the idea of there being a way to you can't fight dirty in a pirate fight.
Oh, it's just fighting.
A pirate fight by its own definition is a dirty fight.
So you think maybe he I don't know if inspired is the right word, but he picked that up from Buggy's first first.
No. What I think he still believes that. The thing is, Zoro is a swordsman who for him becoming the world's strongest swordsman, that's what he wants to do. And so like Luffy acknowledges that dream. And like you even see later on when Buggy is about to grab Zoro's leg so that like what's his name? Do you remember the acrobat's name?
I do not. I just the acrobat.
The acrobat, so that the acrobat can just finish Zoro off. Luffy stops him, and like to me, it seems like Luffy understands that when Zoro fights a opponent 1-on-1, it's like a duel. It's something that's meant to be honored and everything. In which
So
Zoro
Zoro
does not
doesn't.
want help. Has to be
Right. So
full
Zoro's
on.
not a pirate
Yeah, it's
fighter. He
not
doesn't.
a pirate fight.
Right.
And so like when like when Buggy stabs Zoro in the back and Luffy saw that, he called it out essentially because it's like, hey, Zoro, like you can't be fighting Zoro like that, You can't be
Right.
pretending like you're dead. That's cowardly. Because
Can't be
like that's
disrespecting
not
the
something
homeboy.
Luffy would ever complain about otherwise. And like the thing is basically like be staying out of Zoro's fight and all that. To me, that just like he lets Zoro have his dream essentially, and he's respecting that. And it's gonna come up in the next arc we read as well. So
Okay.
yeah, that's just a little something I wanted to point out because I think it's fairly interesting.
Right. Oh, one last thing on Buggy. So when it was revealed that Buggy was, I guess, what do you call it? It's like former apprentices with Shanks. So,
Yeah.
well, first when he put the hat down, he started spitting on it. He stabbed the hat too with his 3 whirlwind hand knife
Yes, he
attack.
did.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that was disrespect right there. And then we got the flashback. I do want to give Buggy points for being a little clever. He's like, oh, there's treasure underwater and no one goes there, and I'm gonna take the map and swim, and I'm gonna also sell the devil fruit by eating a fake one. He basically almost pulled a Luffy, or that's what he pretended to do, because he ate the devil fruit and he ate it in front of the crew, and then everyone thought it was a dud, and then when Shanks snuck up on him, he accidentally ate the real one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so contrived, but it's funny too. So
I
and then
didn't
he's
know.
like, from that.
It was really because like he ate it at first, but then it was like Shanks walked away and he thought he was fine, and then Shanks came back and he accidentally swallowed it.
Yeah, and he's like, from that day on, I swore revenge on Shanks.
Yeah, I love that Luffy got out of the story. Was more like, oh, so Shanks saved your life. Cool.
Oh, no, that's right, because he fell into the water and he couldn't swim. And Shanks saved him. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the other thing too. So is Buggy supposed to be around Shanks' strength, or is it like the whole talent versus hard work, and like Shanks is way stronger than?
I would even say it's talent versus hard work. I will say Buggy is nowhere close to Shanks' strength right now. I think after they parted ways on their ship, it was just completely different words. Like, for example, you don't know that the East Blue is considered to be the weakest of the blues in terms of like the people you find there, or it's not like that strong of an area. And so Buggy's kind of lording around there. So if he went to a different blue, that just might not be the case.
He'd be destroyed. Right. So, and the other thing, so that was Goldie Rogers' pirate crew that Shanks and Buggy were apprenticing
Okay.
on, right?
I was gonna ask if you knew about that.
Oh, everyone knows about Goldie Roger. I mean, like, also, I think he showed up at like the very beginning, right? He's like, I'm the One Piece.
If you knew, like, they were on that crew in specific.
Okay, yeah, no, I know about that, and I also know about the other big crew. The one that I don't even know what. Yeah.
The person who tells them to knock it off when they're arguing about the South Pole and the North Pole, that is Rayleigh. It's a very early sketch of Rayleigh, and you can even tell that it's him if you compare it to his current character design. And the third strongest on Roger's crew, Scapa Gaban, also makes an appearance in that chapter.
Oh, he's thinking ahead a little bit. So, but Goldie Roger didn't appear in that chapter, and I don't think they said it was his crew. But they had So I guess that's like a sort of twist.
It's not even like said in the story what pirate crew that was. It's not revealed until like after chapter 500.
Okay, all right, so a long ways away. So
yeah.
But, yeah.
They kept that secret under wraps for about 10 years.
10 years. Oh, there is also something I wanted to point out about Buggy's defeat. So he didn't get like knocked unconscious. So in One Piece, a lot of times when they get beat, they get their eyes turn white and they sort of pass out, right? Like Buggy, he got his arms and legs stolen by Nami, right? And then when he combined, he turned into like a baby doll or like a midget, and then like Luffy punched him, but he was still like conscious the whole time when he got rocketed off, right? He just got sort of.
Honestly, I don't know. Oh, hold on, let me go just take a peek at that chapter real quick. Cause I have a rough idea of what chapter that was in.
Probably
Maybe chapter
22.
22?
Oh,
Right
same
before
idea.
22, it's 21.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, is it before that too? No, it's actually 20. Oops. It doesn't actually indicate which way. Yeah, we just kind of see him flying away. So maybe he was conscious. I typically think he was unconscious though.
Oh, then Buggy is so. All right, well, I'm not gonna diss on Buggy too, or because Luffy's strong, but like, oh man, Buggy. Whew.
I mean, Luffy already had knocked him unconscious temporarily before that when he hit him into the bag of treasure.
Okay, all right. So I guess but man, Buggy just got beat by. Oh yeah, I think I see it right here. Yeah, he's got the white eyes and the
Yeah.
talking.
Although
Oh,
I would admit Buggy is quite weak. The thing is, like a lot of people, like when you think back about like early One Piece, you're like, man, those people are so weak. But like looking back at it, like Captain Morgan, when he like slashed with his arm, he cut like a whole fence in half that was not next to him. You know?
sent the shockwave of the slice. So
Yeah,
did
like
he?
he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
actually putting out a lot of damage. And Buggy with his buggy balls, those were still powerful by today's standards, I'd say.
Yeah, he blew apart that town. I do feel bad again that he used his buddies and he used the Lion Tamer, the Lion, and some other schmuck. He used them to block that. I guess that was also like a point about like using your comrades or whatever, or like respecting your comrades
Yeah.
or something.
Though I
Yeah.
will say he didn't actually use the Lion Tamer. He used just two of his smugs.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the lion was used by the acrobat though.
Right. Right. It's always that thing where it's like, yeah, abusing a person is one thing, but when you abuse an animal like that, that's too far.
Well, I mean, you saw what they did to the dog.
Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? You're right. Actually, that was poor dog's guarding the store because his owner's dead, and they beat it with cut it with the lion claws. Yeah. I know I'm falling right into the sucker trap of again. Like, oh, that's how you know someone's evil when they kick the dog. But oh,
Hmm?
yeah, yeah.
I know. God, I always feel bad when I read that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
tough stuff. What do you think about Nami though?
let's see. So actually, okay. I don't know if she continued. So they made her a navigator. I get that, but honestly, I thought like okay. So I don't know if she does this anymore, but I thought she made like a great thief like character that like goes into like stuff and is like stealing the treasure or stealing maps or stealing stuff from like the other people. Like
Yeah.
I know that in the future she has like a weather weapon, and I get that she was using like a staff, so like this if her weather stick in the future is like a continuation of that. But like I don't know if she continues to like steal stuff. Like I don't know. I thought like she was cool because she was like getting in there, even if she wasn't a fighter, she was still getting in there and doing stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know if she's going to continue that. I think that's good that she's like going around stealing stuff while Luffy and Zoro are tearing town up. So yeah.
Oh, okay. And then I guess after that we could say whatchamacallit? What do you think the theme was? I think this one's fairly obvious. They make it pretty obvious, but
Oh, I'm still gonna mess it up. Let's see the theme. Um, no, I'm drawing on blank here, man.
treasure.
Oh, really? What? Luffy's hat. Oh, treasure. Okay.
Nami's obsessed with treasure. Buggy's obsessed with treasure. Shushu, whatever you call him.
He's
His
guarding
treasure.
his treasure.
The male's treasure is the town.
Okay. All right. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, and it's like it has some parallels to with like Buggy and Nami, right? Like they are both obsessed with monetary treasure, but like Nami can recognize that other stuff that isn't monetary can also be considered treasure, and she also doesn't just her obsession with treasure doesn't cause her to just take from just anyone, you know.
Right.
Buggy only accepts monetary forms of treasure as treasure, and also like will take from anyone. It's like a slight differentiation between the two.
Right. Nami did have that line where she said, "I don't steal from random people, only pirates," when they were like hiding out in that house. So, yeah.
Oh, you remember how how Luffy confused Buggy's name for Nami's name, and like,
Nami's.
what is Nami them so bad?
Yeah, I was wondering if there was like an extra joke or like something there, like because like I mean like I guess if he's just like that, maybe it's clueless, but like their names don't even sound like that similar. So
Luffy's just dumb. That's just it.
okay.
Yeah, he's very pure-hearted, childlike, and dumb. Essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much just that arc. And then actually, I know you brought this up before when I asked you about like the whole like overturning of power. I will say, reading through this, I can't actually quite feel that because like the Romance Dawn saga arc at Shelltown, you have Captain Morgan. He's an authoritarian ruler. Luffy comes and overturns it. It's like it's literally a spirit of like at the end it really feels like a revolution happened in some way, shape, or form. And then even with Buggy right here, what happens is like, the townspeople at the very end, they're starting a revolution against Buggy, they're revolting against him.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, and then also it's much less in the Syrup Village arc, which is Usopp's arc, but even in that arc, it's like they aren't so much revolting, but they are still defending their village against these invaders and someone who currently has favor in the village.
The butler.
Yeah.
We can move on to that arc right now. Actually, I guess we need to talk about, would you call him Gaimon, the guy with the hair inside the box?
Yeah,
the Gaimon arc, yeah. I guess it's like a mini arc, but yeah, I thought Luffy. So what happened was they go to the island, or they go to another island. Spoiler alert, more islands, and they find a guy whose head and feet are sticking out of a treasure chest, and then he tells him about the treasure, and then he tells him to go check. I guess there's a whole trials thing, but and then Luffy goes up there, and then he picks up the chest. He's like, "Yeah, it's up here." And then Gaimon's like, "Let me see it. Bring it down." And Luffy's like, "No." And then Nami's like, "Oh, what are you doing, man? That's so mean. This guy, he told us where the treasure was. We should, share it with him." And then Luffy's like, "No." And then Gaimon's like, "No, it's okay. I know what it is. It's always been empty." And Luffy's like, "Yeah, it's empty."
Yeah. It's pretty nice because like Luffy tried to defend his hope.
Yeah, like it's like sad and funny and heartwarming moment all mixed into one. Like I think that is like a that's like a great moment.
I don't know how this man's been doing it for 20 years in that
20
treasure
years.
chest.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like is that they didn't free. Did they free him from the box at the end? I don't think they freed him. I think he was still in there, right?
According to him, if they were to break the box, they'd also break him because he's basically just taken the form of the box. Yeah, no. Also, I don't know if you remember this, but like he said, like back before I got trapped in this box, my hair was much shorter and I actually had 2 eyebrows. But like when we actually go to the flashback, his hair is really short, but he still has the same unibrow.
I'm guessing he didn't have a mirror back then. He could feel his hair, but he couldn't feel the unibrow.
Yeah, I'm guessing not. Yeah, no, this arc is actually one of the very few arcs that so far has nothing to do with the story outside of it. So because of that, a lot of people try to take meaning from it. Like it might be a indicator of what the end of One Piece is, or like the whole journey is going to be essentially.
Oh my goodness! There's no One Piece. It was a journey. There's nothing inside. Don't take away hope by telling everyone that there's no One Piece.
Oda has said that the One Piece is a tangible treasure.
It's the chest itself. There's nothing inside the chest. The chest itself is the One Piece. It's One Piece. It's just one chest.
Actually, I wouldn't even be mad because that means Oda has tricked so many people over the past few years with that one statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically a tangible. You get the chest and you keep it on your boat, and people think that you have the credit of having the One Piece. That would be the greatest trick, actually.
Yeah, that would be pretty. That'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a nice little arc with just Luffy and Nami.
Oh my goodness, is Zoro
Uh,
not there?
Man, let's head over to Serum Village. What do you think of Usopp?
Okay. So before reading this, I've always had a dislike for Usopp. You know, I'm one of the filthy casuals. I know Usopp actually does have a lot of cool things that he does. Like
Yeah,
trying to remember in the Dressrosa arc, I think it was. You know, when he ate the spice ball and he made that face that knocked out that little girl that was controlling the toys, right?
yeah.
that was that was really that was great. And then I know he also defended the Going Merry, which they get at the end of the arc. Which, you know, now that I've seen this arc, I understand why a little bit more. That is the Going Merry, right? Like that is the
Yeah, that's
Going
the
Merry.
Gunner.
Okay, because like the translation that I had was Merry Go, and you know the ship kind of looks small in this version.
Its
So you
official
know,
name is the Going Merry-Go.
Going Merry Go. Okay, yeah. And I mean the boat looked kind of small. I was like, is this the boat that they had the whole time? It looks a little small, but you know, I guess the crew was a little smaller back then. You know, I think before Impel Down, they only had like what 7 people on their crew because I think Frankie and Nico joined that arc. So I know
Uh,
we're getting really ahead of us.
Impo
So
Down was actually after Frankie and Nico joined. At
my
the point
bad.
in which Impo Down
Ennis
happened, they have
Lobby.
people.
Okay, I think I was talking about Ennis Lobby. My bad.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So again, filthy casual over here. But yeah, so I guess we'll talk about this arc right now before I get into the whole Usopp going Merry thing. So you know, Usopp's the boy who cried wolf. You know, and I do find it a little cute that he has the 3 pirate sidekicks that are always hanging around him, trying to have fun with him in his tall tales, and he's trying to entertain the sick girl, who can't leave her bed. So I mean, like everyone knows he's lying. She knows he's lying, but it's entertaining, I guess. And the
Yeah.
butler. So yeah, so I guess what happened? Usopp punched out the butler because the butler like said that his father wasn't even no, his father did say he was a pirate, but he said that he was like a bad pirate or something, right? And then
Yeah, he said he was
punched him
like
out.
crap with scum.
Okay, all right, yeah, punched him out, and then he left, and then yeah, then he and Luffy, I guess they were talking. They oversaw the butler talking to what's his name? Django, 1-2 Django. That
Yeah,
guy.
One Piece Michael Jackson.
One Piece Michael Jackson. I knew there was. I knew he would have a nickname. So yeah, he was all right. I enjoyed him as like a minor villain. He's always going 1-2 to Django. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know if it's like a pun or anything, but it was funny. And then like he knocked out Luffy, and they're like, oh, well, we weren't planning on killing him, but I guess he's dead. Because he fell face first from a cliff. And then the Butler man was just so cold. He's like, all right, yeah, Usopp, you saw this, and go ahead and tell everyone. No one's gonna believe you, man. And then Usopp goes ahead and tries to tell everyone. I think did the kids witness it, or did the kids just believe Usopp because they could tell he was being serious? Um,
Uh, they didn't witness that thing happening. So I,
okay,
I think at first they thought Usopp was telling the truth when he said nothing happened.
right, yeah, he did have a short nothing happened phase, and then I think he what? I mean, obviously he recanted at some point. I think Luffy showed up,
Yeah.
or
The reason why the kids believed it happened is because Luffy told them.
right, okay. And then they went down to go to defend the I guess it was like the beach that you go up into the town, and Nami and Usopp were there, and then they were like,
Mhm.
oh, we can't fight, where the heck are Zoro and Luffy? And then they're both running around like, we got lost, we don't know our directions. So I guess that's why Nami is their navigator, but she I think she's so okay. So the cat crew, that's what they were called, like the cat paws or something. They stole the treasure from Nami's crew, and then Nami stole their treasure plus her treasure, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah. She was still doing stuff, even though I guess she's like the navigator. She still stole stuff, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
And then, how did they even hold off the pirates before Luffy and Zoro showed? I don't even know. But yeah, so Luffy and
So
Zoro
they
showed
were
up.
about to just lose because they had like caltrops or whatever they're called. You know those little spike thingies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they
They
had put that around to try to get the pirates to not go up there, and then they were like Usopp was shooting them down with his slingshot.
right. Okay, so he was taking pot shots at them. Yeah. So, but I mean, you're right. It wasn't going to do anything until like Luffy and Zoro showed up, and then the Cat brothers. They were brothers, right? Or were they just cat people? I don't know. The furries.
They called themselves the Meowman Brothers.
Okay. So whatever they are, the furries show up and they try and fight Luffy and Zoro, and oh yeah, that's right. One of them was a cat burglar, and he stole Zoro's swords, and then he
Mhm.
stashed them on a on a cliff. I don't know. That was funny. I I remember them now. Yeah, and then I guess he got beat up, and then Luffy beat up all the smaller ones, and the cat guy or the cat butler was get in gear, guys. I'm gonna give you like 5 minutes, or I'm gonna kill all of you. And then let's see. So I forget the exact chain of events. So I think the two cat brothers tried to take on Cat Butler, and they got whooped. Okay. And then Django started, freaking out because, everyone's like dropping like flies. So he hypnotizes them all to thinking they're stronger and their wounds have healed. And then Luffy gets hypnotized, so he gets stronger, and he has the white eyes, and he's throwing stuff, and then he's like, "Oh no, you're gonna go to sleep," and he starts yelling, like, 1, 2, Django. And then like Luffy drops the mask on himself, and he's like, "Oh, now he's dead, obviously, right?"
That does happen before the Meowman brothers or the Butler show up.
Whoops. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I will say though that was a very funny scene.
Yeah, and then so the Butler's whole motivation is like, I'm tired of being a pirate, and we talked about how he faked his death with the Morgan guy. And that random guy they turned in for himself, is that just a random schmuck that they just dressed up like him and turned in?
Yeah, was he the random schmuck or no? I think that was just a random schmuck because like it didn't seem like any of the other Marines outside of Morgan were alive.
Yeah. So I don't know if like they sold out one of their own crew, which I could totally believe Cat Butler was doing, because he said he was going to kill his own guys.
Yeah.
I think he said like part of his plan was to kill them. But yeah, so he said like, I don't want to be a pirate anymore. I'm tired of being chased around by Marines. What I want is admiration and wealth. And he said, I already got that from the town. Like he said, he's got a position of high power. And now all he wants to do is seize the wealth.
High respect, I should say.
Hmm?
Like it's not really a position of high power, but like he's respected.
Right. He's respected. And then I guess he gets the power from the wealth. So, I can kind of see where he's coming from, where he wants to become the new, maybe overlord, So what was his plan? Was to have
not even that.
The girl.
He basically just wants to live there and like be rich. Just a new rich person.
I guess just have an easy life. All right, you know what? That's totally relatable. So yeah, because his plan was to get Django to hypnotize the girl to get him the will, and then were the pirates actually supposed to attack and then kill some people and kill the girl?
Yeah.
Or did he want? Yeah. Okay, because it sounded like he wanted it to be
accidentally killer.
Yeah, accident. I was like, so are they gonna just save the pirates, or the pirates gonna like burn down the place and say, oh, she went up in flames because she couldn't escape? How tragic! Or they're just gonna have the pirates straight up murk her and be like, oh yeah, that's pirates for you. So I don't know, and frankly, it didn't matter. So because she showed up and then the pirates were beat back, and then her parents died by accident, or did he have a hand in that? Because that I didn't.
I believe they actually did die by accident.
Okay, so I guess that's good, but I mean, like, he still planned for them to be killed by his plan. So I don't know if that redeems him in any way. Because I was thinking like, oh my goodness, he killed this girl's parents, and like
I mean,
now he's gonna kill her.
The intention of killing them later on, anyways. It was all part of the ploy.
Yeah. So then afterwards, when he started fighting Luffy, and he had his sword pause, and he had his whole speech like, yeah, of course I was gonna kill all of you guys. You guys know that I'm alive. I'm like, you can't have that. And then he started running around cutting up his guys, and then what do you call it? Luffy took him, and then what did he do? Did he like do a reverse suplex or something, or he threw him onto the ship and kicked him away?
He did like throw him at some point, I believe. Okay. Like he punched him, and Kuro got sent flying.
Okay, yeah, and he I'm pretty sure he was like knocked out. He had like the white eyes of defeat going on there. So, but yeah. So that was the defeat, and then
the way Luffy ended the battle was by hitting him in the head with his head, using his head.
Oh, a headbutt, or with the mask of the cat thing?
No, it was like with his head. I was just saying, like, because like Kuro's like a calculating, planny guy, and like Luffy beat him using his head too.
Oh, he used his head. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Use your head, bonk. I get it. Yeah. So. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. I guess the last bits of that, so of course, this whole battle happened where the town couldn't see, so only the girls, whatever her name is, like Khalid was the butler's fake name, and what was her name?
Lahador was his fake name.
I'm not even gonna bother. Fake butler, cat butler, Curry, whatever. So only she and the 3 kids of the villagers and her other butler know the truth of what happened, and of course, they can't convince the whole townsfolk that a whole pirate battle happened. Well, maybe if they
Yeah.
went down to the beach and they saw the carnage, but again. So they resolved to keep it a secret. The little kids are, they're not going to tell anyone. Usopp is going to join their pirate crew, and
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of sad, but. And then, and then that's right. Then they also talk about why he was lying all the time. Because his mom, his dad left his mom and him, and he kept trying to tell her, there's a miracle cure, and your dad's home, and that was actually kind of really sad when he was doing that for his mom on his deathbed. That is kind of upsetting. So yeah,
It definitely is. Uh, Overall, what were your thoughts though?
pretty good. I mean, again, just I do want to emphasize how real that ending got, because I didn't know that was Usopp's backstory. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought he was being kind of a jerk. I was okay, he's a liar. He's got the big Pinocchio nose. I just and then you get slammed at the very end.
Usopp, the part of his name Uso does mean lion in Japanese too.
To his name is Lie, or with something at the end. Yeah. So I mean, it softened my opinion on him at the very end. Because I will admit, I know there's the memes about the Soge King or the Sniper King, or the Sniper King's the strongest. Some shaggy memes with him, but I personally am not that big a fan of Usopp, but this ending really did. I was okay, yeah. So
yeah. Well, I haven't been able to fully figure out what the theme is for sure of this arc. It might be about lying, but I'm not fully certain myself. But there were some interesting, parallels and contrasting going on. Usopp versus Clawherder, in which case they're both liars,
yeah.
But Usopp hasn't lied with he's been lying with the intention to help people.
He hasn't had
did
malicious.
up Kaya, and he also is lying to the villagers by not telling them what happened, but it keeps their peace of mind. But then Clawherder lies to everyone with the intention of killing Kaya and stuff like that.
Right. I guess there's also maybe some more parallels with Shelltown. And you should be judged by your actions and not your words and titles. Usopp is dubbed the town liar and he has a reputation of a liar, but he did stand and try and help defend the village. Whereas Cat Butler, he has this reputation and this label as like you said, being respected, but his actions are a cold, calculating murderer. Because I believe he did cut up his minions when he was doing the whole invisible cat jumping thing when he saw Luffy. So maybe there's something there. I'm not quite sure.
I will say there's definitely something there for Luffy, because Luffy got really mad at that, and I think that has to do with Luffy views a pirate crew where it's the captain is really supposed to be taking care of his crewmates. And so when Luffy saw that, we saw him get really mad at him, because it's just nothing about Kuro and his crew is how Luffy views pirates, how they should be.
Right.
It's they're all wrong.
Did Luffy get mad at Buggy for
being a pirate?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pisses Luffy off, I guess, because Clawherder wants essentially the money that comes with being he doesn't want to work hard for his money, right?
Right, yeah, you're right. He does want to lay around and be leisurely. So
yeah, he wants to get his money easily by stealing it, but he doesn't want to be a pirate. He ran away from the pirate life essentially because he couldn't handle the the consequences that come with being a pirate.
Right.
And so that kind of pissed Luffy off, because it's you're too much of a coward to handle that. You want the benefits of being a pirate, but you're too much of a coward to handle the consequences. That kind of pisses Luffy off. And it's also a difference of Usopp. Usopp's lies about being a pirate. And Clawherder lies about being a pirate, but in the opposite way, of course. But in some ways, Usopp is more of a pirate in the sense that he isn't he already knows the consequences and he's willing to accept that.
Right. Even at the end when he had to leave the village, it's still him accepting accepting his So did he get mad at Buggy for using his comrades as a shield when he did the Buggy Ball thing, or were those because that's another?
I don't think he was there for that necessarily. I forget How did Buggy get hit by the buggy bar at that point? Oh wait, I remember. It's because Luffy bounced it back, didn't he?
Yeah, he balloon bodied up and it bounced back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I must have heard.
so.
I don't think he particularly got mad.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I don't know, because like using your comrades as shield is, I think it's like only like one step below just killing them. So like, I mean, like,
Yeah, it is really only one step below. The only thing is they're like technically Luffy injured them
yeah. So
as opposed to doing it.
yeah.
Oh, one thing
So
I did find interesting was actually during the Showtown, when Kobe tells Luffy to go save the little girl, and like Luffy's like, "Why should I?"
did he say that?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
something along. One sec, I think that's like chapter 3.
Was he saying that to motivate Kobe, or was he just saying that like just because? Like,
He was just saying that because oh yeah, it's right here. Oh yeah, Luffy, do something should be killed. Why don't you do it yourself? Oh wait, well that's what he said. He's just
okay,
being
all
kind
right.
of different, where it's like it's not his responsibility to take care of someone.
I thought he was just trying to motivate Kobe to, sort of, grow a spine, I guess,
Now I kind of saw that
Maybe.
more so as like, cause like Luffy doesn't really like, Luffy isn't a hero,
Hmm.
so like it's not really his business to do that. Oh, Nami did point out how Buggy was using his men as shields.
Okay, all right. So someone called him out on it. So.
Yeah, someone called him out on it. Wasn't just fully glossed over. But anyways, yeah, those were the first 3 arcs of One Piece, and they kind of deal with the label. They essentially just deal with labels, thievery, and lying. Overall, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I think they might all have a sort of, I guess, through line about like conceptions and like perceptions. Because I think even the one with Gaimon, he believed that the treasure was in those chests, and like, that was technically, I don't want to say it was a lie because he didn't lie, but it wasn't true. I guess the perception of what it was different than what the reality. Again, the whole, oh, a monstrous pirate. It's different. Perception is different than the reality of the circumstance or the
Well, I mean,
marine
I
people.
think you need to see that with yeah, because like Luffy, like romance Dawn, like the idea is like romancing something, like a romanticized version. Luffy is a romanticized version of being a pirate. He has a romanticized view of being a pirate. So like his romanticized view of being a pirate and like what pirates typically are also like they don't line up. Like the reality doesn't really line up with what Luffy thinks oftentimes. Like with the butler and his crew.
Yeah, yeah. Luffy definitely beats to his marches to the beat of his own drum. So
Yes,
yeah.
he does. Uh, how are you feeling about reading the next arc?
The next arc, I'm going to assume, is the Sanji arc. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Correct.
I'm okay. All right, cool, cool, cool. So,
Yeah.
and then I'll take even a guess now. After the Sanji arc, I'm gonna say is the Chopper arc. I know that's probably just like an easy layup, but like I I think because I know Bone Man. I forget his name. I know he has like a what's the Bone
What?
Man? Brooke. Yeah, I know Brooke joins, and I guess I think he actually joined after Enies Lobby. So, okay. So I guess he got 7 of his crewmates early on, and then like there are a few arcs that passed before he got his next 2 members, which were Frankie and Robin. So we're gonna round off the main cast for a bit in the next 2 arcs, I'm guessing. Then, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna tell you regardless. I will give you a question though. Like, do we want to record next week too?
Yeah. What do you call it? Yeah, we can record next week. I'll tell you what my schedule is. That's part of the reason I wanted to record. I was so adamant about recording today is because like my schedule is gonna be like a mess. So, like,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. In that case though, how much do you want to read? There's 2 arcs that we could read, or we could just read the 1 arc. Like you said, the next arc is the Sanji arc, and that arc goes from 42 to 68.
42
And if
to
you wanted
68.
to read more, we could do the arc afterwards, which goes all the way to 95.
So 42 to 95. We'll try and do 2 arcs. I'm guessing these arcs are gonna get progressively longer and longer, huh?
What time your time is it best to call you next Saturday? Because I will say these 2 arcs, in my opinion, are both better than any of the arcs we've had before, and they're both longer, so it's a bit more to talk about.
Okay. I'd probably say the same time, like what is it,
Okay.
5 o'clock?
So that was 5 p.m. my time, I think.
Yeah, 5 p.m. your time. This part isn't gonna be in the video, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. This part doesn't.
Outtakes included,
I
yeah.
don't think it's a live stream. I'm just kidding. No one watches the channel.
Are you gonna edit pictures and stuff into it, into the what do you call it? Into the discussion,
I think this might be more of a podcast kind of thing I'm gonna do. So
Okay.
I don't know if I'm actually gonna edit pictures into it, because thinking about the future, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot of things to jump in and fix. That's probably why the bigger YouTubers have that's probably why they have editors, because at that point the videos get
Listen, if I ever make it big on YouTube, I am definitely getting an editor, and I getting the most high quality kind of video, like a podcast like this. It doesn't matter if you're supposed to listen to it. If you want to look at it, gonna all be there. But yeah, that's just beside the point. Anyways, yeah, next time we're gonna be reading from 42 to 95. It's a pretty good amount. And if you thought the Usopp flashback was kind of nice and everything, the next 2 arcs are gonna have much better flashbacks, in my personal opinion, including one of the best in the series. So I don't know.
Right, then I look forward to it. All right. I said I look forward to it. Yeah. So, and so this has been Captain Opa and first mate StrikkerZ. So, yeah, on our first voyage.
Works for me. I guess we'll be seeing each other next week. Until then,
all right. All right, Captain. Signing off. So.
Bye.